He's been privileged to be able to share the stage with likes of KRS-One, Mos Def, and the Last Poets, to name but a few. He's an intimate friend of many teachers of ours, including Sheikh Reem Osiafa from Liverpool, and many other teachers of high repute. What we're going to do is we're going to have a very intimate conversation with Amir tonight. It's going to be very interactive, so you need to take part, inshallah. We're going to have a conversation with him, if that's okay. So, very interactive, don't hold back. You get chances to ask questions at certain intervals, inshallah. So, bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Amir Sulaiman. Of course, yes, if sisters do want to ask, feel free to actually kind of put your hand up with the brothers and ask questions, ask away. If you don't want to actually ask questions out loud, there is some paper at the back, some pens, so you can actually pass the questions forward, inshallah, and make sure you have your say.
Assalamu alaikum. How does my mic sound? Sounds okay? Is that a yes? Yeah, okay. And what about the people in the other room? There's some people somewhere else? They can only hear via a speaker, right?
You got it on TV, yeah.
Okay, tell them to give you a thumbs up if I sound okay. Yeah? Okay, I think that's a yes. How are you this fine evening? So, it's a pleasure to be here with you. As he said, my name is Amir Sulaiman. I'm going to recite some poems, inshallah. Whatever poems I'm going to recite, I've heard all these poems before. So, it's not new and exciting for me in that kind of way. But what makes it new and exciting for me is that I'm sharing these poems with you. So you being here is the only thing making this worthwhile whatsoever. I can recite these poems in my bed. I can recite these poems at home, walking around my neighborhood. But I'm here with you, way across the Atlantic Ocean to recite the poems. So you being here is what's making it special for me, so I thank you very much for being here, firstly. Secondly, I would like this to be more of a conversation than a presentation. So I don't want you to feel like you have to be still and quiet, and then I recite, and then I stop, and then you clap, and you start clapping, and then I recite some more, and you're still and quiet, and I stop, and then you clap, and you're still, and we don't have to do it that way. If you're into that type of thing, I mean, you know, but I mean, I would like it, since I flew all the way across the Atlantic Ocean, and I've heard all the poems before, and you being here is the only thing that's making it special. It would be nice for me if this was more of a conversation than a presentation. So do we agree upon that we'll have a conversation?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah? So at any time, if you have a question or comment or concern, I want you to feel free to ask away or comment away. All right, so we have to have consensus on this. Do we have consensus?
Yeah.
That was approximately 17% of the people here. We have to have consensus here. We have consensus?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. That sounds good. Okay. They say the Lord will come like a thief in the night. Perhaps the Lord will come in the things that I write, in the things that we bleed, in the things that we read, in the things we recite. Maybe they're afraid I'll spit fire and these kerosene streets will ignite, or that I'll spit water in these barren streets to give life. And I've learned that the thing that pulls a fiend to the pipe is the same thing that pulls a human being to the light. The love of love, a means to cope. So I try to inhale their dreams and exhale hope. Homeboy said, man, the people either feel it or don't. So you can inhale their dreams and exhale hope, but you better chew poppy seeds and spit out dope. And that reminded me of a passage, and I quote, "Allah will not change the condition of a people, and today change the condition is what's within themselves." End quote. Inshallah, I won't falter. Steady rock of Gibraltar, swift traversing waters. Verses I've authored, I offer as a solemn sacrifice upon the altar in order to alter the current conditions of our sons and our fathers. And they say we need more black mayors and black lawyers. I say we need more black John Mayers to win Grammys for singing songs about our daughters, because we are caught in a culture of defeatism, worshiping victims and martyrs. We are not victims, but victors. We but witness our honor, our brilliance, our resilience, and our beauty is farther than pimpin' hoes, trickin' dough, Gucci and Prada. From Sile Street to Simpson Road, we are shook in the trauma of terrorism that precedes Al-Qaeda and Osama. Forget Bin Laden, Ben Franklin enslaved my great-great-grandmama, comma, great-great-grandfather, comma, indigenous nations are reservations, comma, for we're caught in a coma, sleep. So the truth will have to come like a thief in the night, but if you're awake, you'll hear it in the things that we write, in the things that we bleed, in the things we recite. And because the truth will come like a thief in the night, being awake, I've learned, is the meaning of life. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns? Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. Say it one time. What's that?
I'm trying to work out if you're a Republican or Democrat.
I'm a Muslim crack. I don't know. Yes, bro.
So what brought you towards Islam? Was it like knowing the fact that the slaves from Africa were originally Muslim?
I'm going to repeat your question out loud so everybody can hear. He asked me what brought me to Islam. Is it because that traditionally the slaves that were brought from Africa, that most of them were Muslim? For me, myself, I was born Muslim, so I didn't have that conversion experience. But my parents converted to Islam, and they converted during the time of a mass migration of black Americans into Islam during the 50s and 60s. It was a popular movement among black people in America. So if you think like Malcolm X and that era, they were part of that movement into Islam. That's right.
I was going to ask you about how you started to poetry, but I was on the internet before and I got the answer to that. All I'll ask is, when you recite your poetry, what are you hoping to achieve from amongst the people? What do you want them to get from it? What do you want them to do?
The brother asked, when I'm reciting my poetry, what do I hope for the people to gain, and what is the effect that I'm hoping to have?
Yeah.
Really, for myself, the first thing that I concentrate on is trying to be as sincere as possible in expressing myself. So that's the first step, for me to be sincere myself, even before I think about the effect with other people. And my objective is grown and developed over the years. And even in different settings, I may have different objectives depending on who I'm speaking to. Just like in regular speech, depending on who you're talking to, it affects the objectives that you're seeking to obtain. But generally, I would like to bring people and remind people of good and love, and to free them of hatred and fear. If I were to say generally what the objective would be. And that human beings, that we're all struggling, all kinds of different people in all kinds of different ways. Everyone in here, if we were to really speak even more openly than is comfortable for us, then we'll find that everyone in here is fighting a battle. Everyone in here is in a fight for their life about something. It may be emotional, it may be political, it may be criminal, it may be whatever, but everyone in here is in a fight for their life. And once you realize that everyone is in a fight for their life, it increases you invariably in compassion. Because everyone is suffering, man. Everyone is fighting tooth and nail. That's why in the poem I say, I try to inhale their dreams and exhale hope. Oh, I found that the same thing that pulls a fiend to the pipe. Do you guys say the word fiend here?
Yeah.
You guys know what that is? Yeah, like an addict. Same thing that pulls a fiend to the pipe is the same thing that pulls a human being to the light. The love of love, a means to cope. So I try to inhale their dreams and exhale hope. So if you can give someone some relief in their suffering, alhamdulillah. Yeah. Sisters, I'm not ignoring you unless you guys don't want to talk to me. Yes?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
How long have you been writing poetry?
I've been writing poetry most of my life, since I was a kid. Like I was 10, 11 years old, something like that. And I started doing it publicly. There was a coffee shop in the town I used to live, in Rochester, where I'm from. They used to have a Tuesday night open mic. And I used to go to the coffee shop and recite, and I started doing that when I was about 14 years old or so. So I've been doing it for a long time now. Yeah, mashallah. Yes?
With you being a poet and a Muslim, and from New York, how have people of US, or New York in particular, have they accepted you? And how do you feel when you're on stage and you meet different people from different religions, etc.?
Right. The brother asked us, being a Muslim and a poet and from New York and from the U.S., how have the people of New York and the U.S. accepted me? And how is it when I speak in front of people of different religions and things like that? MashaAllah, Allah is very kind, man. I'm always very welcome. I've never been in a place where I was just unwelcome, you know? Or that my poetry was unwelcome. And even from the hip-hop tradition, Islam has always been mentioned in hip-hop from the very beginning. So the name Allah, Assalamu alaikum, all of these things, from early in the late 70s, these things were mentioned because of that mass migration of black people into Islam. Even though all the black people weren't Muslim, particularly in New York, everyone knows about Islam. And generally, everyone respected Muslim people, particularly Muslim men, Muslim women as well. But I mean, in the realm of hip-hop, the respect for the men who had not, because what it meant to be Muslim, a black American Muslim, meant that you had knowledge and that you had discipline. Those were the two main characteristics that you say, oh, that person must be a Muslim. Or if he says he's Muslim, oh, he must have these characteristics. So when you are a rapper, even out of ego, you would want to present yourself as if you had knowledge. So, but this was an earlier day. Now in hip-hop, it's often to be dumb is become popular. But some time ago, not even that long ago, to have knowledge and say, I'm a person who reads books. I read this book and I read that book. And you be in your rap video with like books and stuff like that. Like that was popular. And so the people that were seen to have the most knowledge, the vastest knowledge, were Muslims. And so, you know, that even if a person wasn't Muslim, they would have that language and that expression. So but when I came as a Muslim, there was always initially off top a level of respect. And I have to give gratitude to Allah and to my parents and people of that generation, because they're the one that established that among our people, that this is the character of a Muslim person, and until the Muslim people became recognized that way. Yeah.
Is that perception of Muslims still there?
Is that perception of Muslims still there? Yes, but not as strong as it was before. Among black people, because it's become a movement politically and in the media to like foreignize Islam. So black people have been Muslims in America for a long time, you know, established masjids and all of that for longer than I've been alive. So people saw Islam as an indigenous religion. This is like a black people's religion, like the original religion of black people. So it was never seen as like a foreign and imported and invasion religion. But then when things began to change, and then the cultural shift happened where it was starting to be presented as a imported an invasion of Islam from some other place, and clerics and fatwas and all of this stuff from other places, strange people in other places. So that has affected somewhat the presentation of Islam in America. And I'm going to recite another poem. And if you have more questions, comments, concerns, I want you to feel free. I'm a little bit warm, so I'm going to take my jacket.